ICE detainments have been happening not just in Minneapolis, but across the metro, including, of course, St. Paul, especially in the Hmong community. And we are very pleased and honored to have St. Paul Mayor Kaohly Her with us now. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get to broader incidents of deportations and detentions in St. Paul, I want to everybody to look at this video of your friend Kaohly Her being detained. He is in his boxer shorts. He's wearing Crocs on an icy pavement. He has a blanket thrown over him, and he is in handcuffs. This is a longtime family friend. Tell us what you know about this.
I mean, this situation is so heartbreaking to watch because, you know, I do know the family personally, but what I really want to emphasize is that this family is personal to me, but we've seen this happen across our entire city, in communities across our city, whether they're from the Somali community, the Latinx community, or the Southeast Asian community. This is just one example of what is happening. And
the agents went into battering ram through Kaohly Her's front door and took him into custody. They mistook him for a sex offender who had been in jail for a year. Your thoughts about that?
I think that was the part that was the most maddening to me, was that they couldn't even do the basic homework to see that the person they were looking for was already incarcerated and had no affiliation with this family at all. And then to add insult to injury, to go on national news and lie about the fact of that there was any connection between the people they were looking for and this family. This is an upstanding family. His mother was a nurse, one of the first nurses in Laos who took care of veterans, soldiers who were coming in the secret war wounded, that was the mother of Kaohly. And so to me, it's like, what a disrespect to the legacy of their mother and their family and how they lived their lives.
And how they helped the Americans in that era.
Absolutely.
Did they give him a chance to put clothes on?
Not at all.
Okay.
They literally ripped him out of the house, and that blanket that's on him was thrown on him as they were taking him out of the house.
Tell us about the wider story here, because you say that when you go to the Hmong markets, everywhere you go, people are coming up to you in tears because a relative, a friend has been detained.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
I mean, in every situation that I've been into, and whether it is the Hmong market or it is the Mercado that I've been visiting, someone always inevitably comes up to me and tells me that they have a family member or a friend who's been detained, who is at a facility in Texas, or that was taken for a number of days, or that they were citizens and had no record. I hear story after story after story, and the narrative out there that these stories we're hearing is false. It's unbelievable that is what we are being told as the American public.
And you obviously were at one time an immigrant, you're a naturalized citizen. This must be especially painful.
Absolutely, and it's not even just that I was an immigrant, I was a refugee. We were refugees here because we could not stay in our own country, because we fought with the United States, that we saved soldiers who were, American soldiers who were shot down. We had no option but to come here. And so I think that it is really important for us to remember that it is an American conflict that brings refugees here into this country, and we have an obligation to take care of these individuals, not send them back to a country.
And the city of St. Paul has joined the state and the city of Minneapolis in a federal lawsuit. There's a hearing tomorrow at 9 a.m. in federal court on that to try and stop ICE from acting here. Are you hopeful?
I mean, in light of the continued incidents here, I am hopeful. I mean, all we can do is have hope right now, right?
Right. Okay. Well, Mayor Kaohly Her, thank you so much for coming in here. Thank you to your daughters for coming in too. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.